Today's video, it's about one of the most important market dynamics in crypto and why the timing right now is unlike anything we have seen in years. Charles Schwab, they just started rolling out crypto accounts to retail clients. Stocks are going absolutely parabolic, and the historical pattern that follows your parabolic equity, it moves in crypto rotations. Brad Garlinghouse just explained in under 1 minute why XRP is built differently than every other digital asset. And a banking system engineer, he just laid out the case for a $300 XRP. And it's something you probably never heard of before. And we can't forget about the XRP weekly chart because it is sitting in a textbook accumulation zone after a confirmed market structure shift, folks. All of it connects. We're going to get into it and we're going to kick it off with the story you see on your screen. That's right. Now look, us being XRP holders, or maybe you hold another altcoin. This story, it doesn't sound massive, right? But this is signaling to us something absolutely enormous about where this market is about to head. I've been following FortisX for quite some time, and what I like is that they continue to move towards greater transparency and security. Their platform is designed for long-term holders who want to put assets like XRP to work through liquidity pools and simply instead of keeping them idle. Over the past months, the team has completed audits with CertiK and Cyberscope, and they made the company publicly visible through SEC Edgar filings, and recently they launched a 50,000 CertiK bug bounty program so independent security researchers can test the platform. They clearly keep investing in security and transparency, which is exactly what you want to see from a project, folks. If you've been holding XRP for the long term and you want to learn more, check out the link. Now, Charles Schwab, for context, this is one of the largest retail brokerage platforms in the United States. They have over 35 million active brokerage accounts. 35 million. And guess what they just started doing? They started rolling out crypto trading to their retail clients. That's right. Bitcoin, Ethereum first, but have no fear. XRP is on the list. I got the proof. We're going to go over it in 1 second. But let me explain to you real quick why this matters beyond just the obvious, right? Schwab isn't a native crypto firm. They are not an exchange. They are at a place where you're middle American, where we park our money in retirement savings. It's brokerage accounts, it's kids' college funds, you name it. So when you have Schwab adding crypto, it's not adding it for crypto natives who already got a Coinbase account. No, that's not who they're going after. They're adding it for the tens of millions of retail investors who have never bought a digital asset in their lives because it wasn't available on the interface that they already use every single day. This is retail distribution channel that will dwarf every crypto exchange in the country. And it just opened. And look, yeah, they're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They all do. But you want to know what the Clarity Act is going to allow? It is going to allow them to offer XRP. Why? Simple. Within the Clarity Act, it stated if a cryptocurrency, a digital asset, was named not to be a security in a federal lawsuit, there is no going back on that, meaning XRP will get full clearance and Schwab will have the green light. Don't forget, Charles Schwab put out an article which was updated April 2nd, 5 major cryptocurrencies and what to know. And what do they list in there besides Bitcoin, Ethereum? XRP and Solana. What do you think is going to be next on Schwab's radar? Then they go here. Charles Schwab on their Think or Swim platform, they already got an XRP and Solana, both micro futures and a normal futures contract, which are cash settled. And don't forget about this one. When Schwab announced that they will be getting into the crypto game, and what did they say in here? More assets will become available. Now let's get over to that Brad Garlinghouse clip because this is definitely worth noting. So let's talk about what makes XRP worth adding to any platform, because we know Schwab's eventually going to expand to it. Because Garlinghouse, in this 1 minute clip, he summed it up perfectly. 4 billion transactions processed, 3 to 5 seconds settlement finality, and less than a penny per transaction. And you got a community that never stopped believing through all the bullcrap, the SEC lawsuit, all the bear markets, the constant FUD on social media, through years because of uncertainty. Now think about what those three metrics that Garlinghouse goes over, what they mean in context of everything we've ever covered on this channel, right? Van Eck flagged XRP as a settlement layer challenge to SWIFT and the DTCC. Banks are being authorized under the Clarity Act to use blockchain infrastructure. JP Morgan, they're tokenizing treasury funds on chain. All of those use cases, they require a settlement layer. A settlement layer that is fast, that is cheap, and is proven at scale. 4 billion transactions, 3 to 5 seconds, and less than a penny. That is not a marketing copy. That is a live production track record that no other blockchain in the institutional payment space can match at this scale. Listen to my boy Brad.
I'm Brad Garlinghouse. I'm here for my second Crypto in a Minute here at XRP Las Vegas. So we're doing something special to make it XRP in a minute. I'm Brad Garlinghouse, and I'm back for XRP in a minute. What makes XRP unique? I'm gonna go way back in time and talk about the earliest inventors of XRP Ledger who had been contributors to the core of Bitcoin. And they saw in that an opportunity to build something specialized and specific and unique to really solve a payments problem. And so what makes XRP so unique is its speed, settling transactions in 3 to 5 seconds. Its cost, extremely low cost, fractions of a penny per transaction, and its scalability, now having completed over 4 billion transactions. You add in that with a special dash of an incredible community around XRP, what I like to call the XRP family. Sometimes we're going to be the XRP army, depending on what's going on. But you put those things together and you include the longevity of this blockchain, you have something special and unique that is poised for great success in the years ahead.
Now, as Brad was busy giving us his spiel, which was a good spiel, I'll rip the shot of espresso because I'm ready to go, folks. Now let's talk about the macro framework. Why wouldn't we? This is going to play into everything. We'll get to the $300 prediction in a second. Just not yet. Just not yet. Where'd my macro picture go? I know I had it up here. That's not it. Well, I don't have it, but we're going to talk about it anyways, and I'm going to pull up the Gronk search on it. Okay? This is the macro that's going to tie everything together. We are currently seeing stocks go parabolic, right? S&P 500 all-time high. Nvidia went absolutely insane. But what happens after that euphoric leg in the stock market is a rotation. Smart money, they start looking for the next possible upside. Now, we saw this pre-COVID. We saw this last year into this year. Okay, when stocks start to feel done, when valuations stretch, when the risk rewards flip and that capital just made, say, 50 to 100% in equities, they start hunting for the next massive opportunity. Historically, what the data shows us is that that money rotates into crypto. Now, here's the mechanics of why that happens, right? Institutions and your high net worth investors, they lock in gains from the stock run. Smart. Take profit. They don't sit in cash though, especially with support of macro. Crypto, as a higher, better risk asset, it offers them that upside that the crowded AI and semiconductor trades no longer provide. We've seen this in the past, and there's no reason we're not going to see this again. Think about that for a second. The sequence usually goes something like this: bonds, stocks, small cap, crypto. Parabolic stocks signal that the equity part of this, it's peaking, right? In the marginal dollar, the dollar that is done making 50% in Nvidia, it start hunting for the next 5 to 10x. And XRP, let's just be honest, with its legal clarity, its institutional infrastructure, its settlement layer utility, and Charles Schwab distribution coming, it is positioned directly in the path of that rotation. Now, on my other channel, we talked about the current XRP chart. We spoke about the Bitcoin dominance chart as well, and the XRP to Bitcoin pairing. If you look on XRP to the dollar, massive gains, right? Over 500%. But if you look at the XRP to Bitcoin chart, it's down 30%. So you're probably thinking to yourselves, how could XRP be up against the dollar but down against Bitcoin? It's simple. The rotation from Bitcoin hasn't started yet. It's gonna happen. When money starts rotating out of Bitcoin and we start to see that market cap dominance drop from 60% to 50% to 40%, to 30%. And I believe we'll be in a 30 to 40% range on the Bitcoin dominance. And that money starts to rotate out. Where does it go? It goes into Ethereum, it goes into your other altcoins, and last, the rotation goes into XRP. Now, I want to jump over into that $300 prediction. Let's talk price. And I want to be clear, this is one analyst's framework here, right? The logic is worth understanding because it reframes how XRP adoption actually scales. Now, Charles Schwab, this guy you see on your screen, he says he's a banking systems engineer. Is it true? I don't know. It's what he claims. But it doesn't matter what his role is, his job is. What matters is how he lays this out, which is a very unique angle and perspective on it. He argues that XRP could reach $300 with the Clarity Act and banking adoption, all aligning within Ripple's existing partnerships, not new partners, everyone they have signed over the years, over the decade, right? But the key insight here, it's not the price target. I know everyone loves fancy numbers and high numbers, gets them excited, I get it. But it's the actual mechanism. Now, he argues that XRP adoption, it does not scale through individual bank-by-bank deals, that it actually scales through your middleware providers that already sit between the banks and the payment systems. We're talking about your ACI Worldwide, your Volante, and your Finastra. Those are the companies whose software runs inside thousands of financial institutions globally. Remember, banks don't build their own payment infrastructure from scratch, right? They buy ACI, they run Volante, they integrate Finastra. So if XRP gets integrated at that middleware layer into the platforms that banks already use, adoption does not happen one institution at a time. It happens in waves because every bank running that software, it gets XRP capabilities simultaneously. So it's not bank one goes live, then a couple of weeks later, bank two. No, it's like Finastra, they hit that switch and you got thousands of banks that are all of a sudden using XRP. His second point is worth noting as well. He states XRP higher prices are not just a consequence of adoption. They are actually a prerequisite for larger payment flows. Higher liquidity depth at higher price levels that will enable larger cross-border transactions without slippage. The price and the utility, they're self-reinforcing. Regulatory clarity to Clarity Act. That is going to be the unlock that will allow ACI, Volante, and Finastra, to name a few, to actually integrate XRP without the legal risk. That is the mechanism. That is the path. The Clarity Act, which, we all laughed about, should really be called the Ripple Act, because it benefits Ripple, the company, and XRP, the digital asset, more than anything else in this entire space. I mean, think about it. What other asset do you know that had a lawsuit? I don't know any other ones. Bitcoin didn't, Ethereum didn't, Solana didn't, Binance Coin didn't, XLM, Cardano, Chainlink, Ondo, none of them did. XRP did. So what it states in that Clarity Act documentation that we are waiting to get signed by President Trump is that if you have a ruling from a federal judge, it's over. It can no longer be challenged again. And that is where XRP stands out. And that is where all of these banks, once the Clarity Act is signed, will have the green light. And they've been spending the last 10 years integrating Ripple's technology and integrating the XRP ledger and waiting for this moment where they can flip the switch. Just like Bank of America. What do you think Bank of America did? Why do you think Bank of America pulled back on everything like we're not ready yet? Because of the clarity aspect. Bank of America has like 80 something patents out there. Do you really think that they just hired someone and like, hey, make us 80 patents. We're never going to use them. Just make them. So we can act like the cool kid that we're going to use crypto. Of course not, folks. They're going to go live. They're all going to go live. That is where this actually plays into this. As always, folks, do me a solid. Hit that like and subscribe. That thumbs up, it means everything to this channel. And you come in here every single day. So I appreciate it. I'll see all y'all on the next one.